Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. You know, I don't mind a drink on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. It's relaxing. Cheers. Wait, what's the time? Fuck, it's Thursday. I'm late for work. Imagine you're a woman. For some of you who already are women, then just go with me on this. Now imagine getting rammed in the butthole by a big dick, and that dick is just not letting go. Just a continual pounding of your now sore asshole. That level of comfort is what we're dealing with here in Tohshinden URA. I guess you could say the game's a complete bag of dicks. The most fucking baffling part about this game is where it sits chronologically in the Tohshinden series. Well, okay, that's not true. It's the 4th game in the series. So the most perplexing thing is how 4 games in, we still get games this shit. From what I can patch together, we got Ballerina Tohshinden on the PlayStation 1. Then they released the sequel on PlayStation 1 by adding a 2 at the end. Things were going so well that Takara in their infinite wisdom decided to bring it to the Saturn. So the first Saturn game we got was Tohshinden S in Japan, and Ballerina Tohshinden Remix everywhere else, which was the 3rd game. And the 4th was Ballerina Tohshinden URA Ultimate Revenge Attack. And there have been 2 years in that time where I've had the opportunity to play some games by Takara. I played D3rd on the Saturn, but not Ballerina Tohshinden Remix. I've played the original Ballerina Tohshinden on PlayStation 1 in that time, and it looks good and plays alright. Well, much better than the dog shit we have here. The characters we have are EG or IG, Kain, Sophia, Rungo, Fofi, Mondo, Duke, Ellis, Sho Shinjo, Tracy, Ripper, and Ronron. Ronron is one of the worst characters in a fighting game ever. I think I can say that quite comfortably. Presentation's alright. The menu presentation is functional. It doesn't look particularly nice or anything. Really bland font, colours are okay, and just ho-hum overall. If you're asleep by this stage, fair enough. In-game presentation is actually better than alright. It's okay, meaning that it's not great, but I've seen worse. Alright is more than barely functional, whereas the colours are nice and the layout makes sense even if it is basic as hell. It's formulaic to a fault, and if the formula works, use it, I guess. Graphics are a mixed bag for me. People were quick to dismiss the graphics in this game, and yes, okay, they have a right to. The backgrounds are 2D static images, and lack detail, polish, or any real pop. Various sprites are ugly and also lack detail, and the lighting in some of these levels is a fucking joke. Almost like they're trying to highlight the Saturn shortfalls. The edges of the characters are really jagged and not really smoothed out. The floors are basic colours, and texturing is just plain old shit. The frame rate is wildly out of control, with some parts are smooth as hell and look alright, I guess, and then there's other parts where it looks like 4 frames all tied together in a fucking haphazard configuration, so parts of it simply do not flow. But, with all those flaws, the collision detection is also a swing and a miss. Wait, what the fuck was my point again? Sound is fucked. Sound effects are out of whack by a second or two when the game gets busy. The soundtrack is lame, and quite honestly, that's not only the best description I can give you, but I'm also being a little easy on it by calling it lame. An indie band consisting of a dude or two on a keyboard giving us songs they thought sounded good? In other games that could be charming and cute, but here it just grinds. Gameplay is the equivalent of being in an elevator with someone who has severe diarrhea in a building with 100 floors, and just as the door closes, he shits himself. And now you have the complete displeasure of having to stand there for the entire 100 floors smelling shit. Watch out though, because he likes hugs. You can apologise all you want, but what we're dealing with here is a mess. I can sit here and mash either Z or C in a direction on the D-pad, and the outcome would be the same no matter who I chose or how hard it was. The only reason I would look at the screen while playing is just so I don't jump out of the ring. The rest is completely inconsequential. The controls are so toxic, I need to wear a biosuit and a pair of tongs to hold the controller. The controls are very laggy and the fighting style is mundane at best. The idea of having weapons is not a bad one, as we've seen other great fighting games like Samurai Shodown execute this in a deep and interesting manner. While it does seem like the game was built with the weapons in mind and not a shoehorned afterthought, it all doesn't seem to matter too much. The only interesting thing with the weapons in this game is the ability to shoot a fireball, and that's about it, really. Replay value is a versus mode. Big fucking whoop. Would I recommend this game? No. This is the only review after playing the game a second time and redoing these reviews have I changed my opinion so wildly. I mean, can you really call the first video on this a review? It was practically me screaming bag of dicks for 4 minutes and professing my love for the last 30 seconds, and that's a wrap. But this time, this game is so clearly rubbish that even though I liked it the first time, I know what great gaming is, and the charm I saw in it the first time has clearly faded, and playing it only gets me angry and upset. Even if I did like it, there's very little here I could recommend to anyone else. And if anyone else is less kind to this game, it's only out of pure guilt that they shouldn't dislike a game this much.
Go!